A jungle that breathes. A country so vast, it swallows nations whole. Rivers deeper than history. Earth that powers the world. Then come the mountains. Here, smiling at weddings is forbidden. Not cruelty, but respect. Beauty isn't cosmetic, it's ancestral. A sculpted forehead is identity. Women move like royalty wrapped in sky-bright fabric. Volcanic giants, smoking, watching, waiting. Within the forests, creatures found nowhere else on Earth. Beneath the soil, cobalt that powers your phone. Within the people, resilience that refuses to break. Stories so powerful, they reshape everything you thought you knew. Forgotten by some, misunderstood by many. Never ordinary. These are 15 mind-blowing facts about DR Congo.
Number 15. The country with the strangest geography on Earth. The Democratic Republic of the Congo is often described as Africa's sleeping giant, and yet even that label struggles to contain what this country truly is. It is not simply a nation, it is an entire world folded into a single set of borders. Yet size alone barely scratches the surface. Sprawling across more than 944,000 square miles, it dominates the geographical heart of the African continent with an authority that is difficult to fully grasp. As the second largest country in Africa, its sheer scale defies easy comparison. Several European nations could be tucked inside its boundaries simultaneously and still leave room to spare. Then come the people, and here the story reaches its most astonishing chapter. And though the country is largely landlocked by its continental neighbors, it refuses to surrender entirely to the interior. A slender 25-mile ribbon of Atlantic coastline grants this enormous landmass its modest but stubborn foothold on the sea. Together, they form not a melting pot, but something richer, a living, breathing mosaic of humanity, layered and complex, shaped by centuries of experience that no single narrative could ever fully capture. As of 2025, more than 112 million individuals call the DR Congo home. They speak upward of 240 distinct languages and represent more than 250 ethnic groups, each carrying its own traditions, histories, and culture.
Number 14. Africa's only long-headed tribe, the Mangbetu. Deep within the northeastern rainforests of the DR Congo, largely hidden from the outside world by a dense canopy of ancient trees, lives one of the most visually captivating peoples on the African continent, the Mangbetu. For countless generations, Mangbetu women observed a practice known as lipombo, a carefully performed tradition of cranial binding that gradually elongated the shape of the skull from infancy. Far from being merely cosmetic, this distinctive silhouette carried profound meaning within the community. It was a marker of elegance, an outward signal of intellectual distinction, and a visible declaration of elevated social standing. But to reduce the Mangbetu to their appearance alone would be to miss the far greater story unfolding beneath the surface. While many of the surrounding communities built their lives around hunting and gathering, the Mangbetu charted a remarkably different course. They cultivated a structured and sophisticated kingdom, complete with royal courts governed by
charted a remarkably different course. They cultivated a structured and sophisticated kingdom, complete with royal courts governed by elaborate ceremony, a rich musical tradition, and artistic achievements of extraordinary.
Number 13. The proud women of Congo's red soil. On the dusty red roads of Central Africa, you'll witness one of the most powerful sights in the world: Congolese women in motion. Balancing entire marketplaces on their heads, bananas, buckets of water, bricks, firewood, and even pots and pans, they walk with unmatched elegance. Their feet may be bare, but their posture is regal. They glide like runway models, not in Milan or Paris, but on Congo's dirt paths. By day, they are farmers, traders, mothers, and community leaders. Some even take charge of the village's informal banks, handling cash, credit, and risk better than Wall Street. In some regions, women are even empowered to propose marriage, and if turned down, the man must return the bride price, or at least a chicken. If their fearlessness inspires you, comment the number 8 below. Number 12. The land of wooden motorcycles. Meet the Chikudu. Forget Harley-Davidson. In eastern Congo, the real ride of pride is made of wood, and it's called the Chikudu. Built entirely by hand with no engine, pedals, or brakes, the Chikudu is a wooden two-wheeler that looks like a cross between a scooter and a delivery truck. Yet despite its primitive design, it can haul over 600 pounds of bananas, charcoal, rice, even refrigerators up steep volcanic hills. Crafted in just 2 to 3 days using wood, ropes, used tires, and cooking oil for maintenance, each Chikudu is a personal masterpiece. And just like Americans customize their motorcycles, Congolese riders paint their Chikudus, add bells, stickers, and even names. Instead of sitting and pedaling, riders stand beside it and push with one foot, coasting downhill with skill and grace, like skateboarders on jungle highways. In Goma, there's even an annual Chikudu race, where dozens of men race downhill in full control of these heavy, handcrafted beasts, Congo's own version of Formula One. Number 11. The world's shortest and wisest people. Deep within Congo's vast rainforests live one of humanity's most ancient tribes, the Pygmies. Standing less than 4 feet 11 inches tall, these indigenous people may be short in height, but their connection to nature and tradition runs deeper than most civilizations ever reach. Rather than writing history books, they sing it. Each song passed down tells stories of ancestors, animals, seasons, and love. These aren't just melodies, they are oral archives, living libraries set to rhythm. Leadership here is unique. No single person rules. Decisions are made communally, with everyone from elders to children seated in a circle, every voice heard before a choice is made. Homes are built in hours, temporary dome-shaped huts made from branches and leaves ready to move with the forest as the seasons shift. To them, movement isn't chaos, it's life in balance with nature. One of their most profound rituals is called making friends with the forest. When a child is born, they are taken into the jungle, introduced to the trees, rivers, and birds, as if welcomed into a vast living. Number 10. Sapeurs. The gentlemen of elegance in the heart of Kinshasa, amid the dust and disorder of Kinshasa's crowded streets, past the makeshift rooftops, the narrow alleyways, and the relentless hum of urban survival, something stops you cold. A figure cuts through the chaos with the unhurried composure of someone who has just stepped off a Parisian runway, head to toe in Gucci, Versace, Yves Saint Laurent, pressed, polished, and utterly unbothered. This is a sapeur, and the world he belongs to is unlike anything else on earth. La Sape, short for La Société des Ambianceurs et des Personnes Élégantes, loosely translated as the Society of Tastemakers and Elegant People, is a dazzling cultural movement that was born not in Milan or Paris, but in the beating, complicated heart of DR Congo. And here is the detail that makes it extraordinary. These men are not executives or heirs to family fortunes. On any given weekday, a sapeur might be cutting hair in a neighborhood barbershop, working a security post, or getting his hands dirty under the hood. Number 9. Hemba wooden statues, Congo's sacred carvings of the ancestors. In the peaceful red soil villages along the Lualaba River in southeastern DR Congo, the Hemba people live close to the earth and even closer to their ancestors. At the center of their spiritual life lies the Singiti, beautifully carved wooden statues that represent revered family members who have passed on. These aren't decorations. They are believed to carry the living spirit of ancestors, watching over the household, protecting the family, and ensuring good harvests and harmony. Each Singiti statue stands around 1 to 2 feet tall, with calm faces, closed eyes, and seated postures, carved from sacred hardwood. Only clan chiefs or direct heirs are allowed to keep them. During special rituals, the statues are cleansed with palm oil, placed on earthen altars, and spoken to, as if they are still part of the family. Stories of the ancestors are told through these statues. They are living links between generations, passing wisdom not through books, but through wood, spirit.
Number 8. The no-smiling wedding tradition of DR Congo. Picture a wedding, and you likely imagine smiling faces, laughter, and celebration. But in some rural communities of DR Congo, especially among the Luba and Bashi people, smiling is strictly forbidden for the bride. Instead, she must remain solemn and composed throughout the ceremony. Why? Because marriage here isn't just about love, it's a sacred transition. A young woman is stepping into adulthood, responsibility, and the deep expectations of motherhood and family honor. A serious expression shows she understands the weight of commitment, respects the ancestors, and honors her future in-laws. A bride who laughs or smiles too much may be seen as immature or unserious. In many villages, elder women coach the bride beforehand, teaching her how to hold a neutral, respectful expression. And during the ceremony, a single glance from her mother or aunt is enough to remind her, this is tradition, this is respect.
Number 7. Kinshasa, the capital city you've never heard of. Welcome to Kinshasa, a city so wild, so alive, and so unexpected, it might just be the biggest capital you've never heard of. Perched along the banks of the Congo River, Kinshasa sits directly across from Brazzaville, the capital of the Republic of the Congo. It's the only place in the world where two national capitals face each other across a river, just 2 kilometers apart. A geographic mic drop you won't find anywhere else. With over 17 million people, Kinshasa is one of the largest cities on the planet, bigger than Paris, Rome, or London. It's the beating heart of DR Congo, politically, economically, and culturally. Step into Kinshasa and you step into a non-stop rhythm. Traffic lights, traffic that dances instead of flows. Musical notes, streets alive with music from soukous to gospel. Face mask. Every corner feels like an open-air stage where life is both spontaneous and spectacular. One moment you're dodging minibuses while someone balances a full basket on their head. The next, you're watching teens breakdance in the middle of a crowded terminal. It's chaotic, but it's beautiful chaos. Kinshasa hosts opera singers in open-air markets, jazz nights under the stars, and boxing matches lit by motorbike headlights. In most countries, opera is reserved for grand theaters. In Kinshasa, it's performed right next to vegetable stalls, raw, powerful, and heart.
Number 6. Natural wonders straight out of a dream. Think Africa is all savanna and safaris? Think again. The Democratic Republic of Congo is home to some of the most surreal, cinematic landscapes on Earth. Let's start with Lake Kivu, a stunning blue lake on the border of Rwanda and Congo. Tranquil, peaceful, until you learn what's underneath. Billions of cubic meters of methane and carbon dioxide are trapped beneath its surface, turning this paradise into a pressurized geological time bomb. It's Yellowstone meets Lake Tahoe with a mysterious twist. Then there's Virunga National Park, Africa's oldest national park and one of the last strongholds of wild mountain gorillas. One look into a gorilla's eyes here and you'll feel something ancient awaken in you. No zoo or safari can replicate it. And for thrill seekers, meet Mount Nyiragongo, an active volcano with a boiling lava lake that glows red against the night sky. It's otherworldly, mesmerizing, like staring into the Earth's beating. Number 5. A land rich in cobalt but not in wealth. The Democratic Republic of the Congo holds over 70% of the world's cobalt reserves, a mineral essential for powering Teslas, smartphones, and even the laptop or phone you're using right now. You'd think this would make DR Congo one of the richest countries on Earth, but here's the brutal irony. Most Congolese citizens still live on less than $2 a day.
Deep underground, young men and women work with little more than plastic buckets, handheld flashlights, and shovels, crawling through narrow tunnels to unearth bluish-silver rocks. Some call it the California gold rush of the 21st century, but instead of gold, they're digging cobalt. On a good day, an artisanal miner might bring up a small bundle worth just a few dollars, barely enough for a meal. And yet that tiny bundle might end up inside a $1,200 iPhone or a $60,000 electric car. Number 4. The marry all three custom of the Congo. In most cultures, marriage is between two people, but in some parts of eastern DR Congo, especially in South Kivu province, love sometimes comes in threes. Here's how it works. If a man falls in love with one girl from a set of twins or triplets, he may be expected to marry the entire set. This isn't folklore, it's a real and practiced tradition. Why? Because in Congolese belief, twins and triplets share one spiritual soul, divided across multiple bodies. To marry only one is seen as a spiritual imbalance and could bring misfortune to the family. In 2022, a man named Luizo made headlines across Africa when he married identical triplets, Nat, Asha, and Natalie. Wearing matching white dresses, they walked down the aisle together as traditional drums pounded and dancers twirled in celebration.
Number 3. The festival spirit of Congo, where music is a prayer. When it comes to cultural celebrations, few countries rival the festive heartbeat of DR Congo. Here, festivals aren't just events, they're rituals, prayers, and living history. While funerals in the West are quiet, in DR Congo, they're full of music, movement, and storytelling, where everyone gathers to share grief and joy as one community. Take the Mask Festival in Kasai and Katanga regions. Villagers wear elaborate wooden masks representing ancestors, mythical beasts, or legendary heroes. Through dance and storytelling, they honor life, death, harvests, and spiritual awakenings. And then there's the Ngoma Festival, a thunderous celebration of traditional drums. The sound of giant drums carries across open fields, echoing prayers for rain, good harvests, or successful marriages. In the city of Goma, tens of thousands flock to the Amani Peace Festival every February. It's one of the largest peace-centered music festivals in Africa, bringing together artists from across the continent to promote unity through art and rhythm.
Number 2. The real cost of living in Congo. So, is life in DR Congo affordable? Monthly utility bills, electricity, water, and trash range from $80 to $120. Fast fiber optic internet? Around $50 a month. In Kinshasa, a decent one-bedroom apartment in a central area rents for about $450 to $600 per month. Move further out, and it drops to around $300. A meal at a mid-range restaurant? Around $5 to $8, roughly 70% cheaper than in the US. If you shop at local markets and cook at home, expect to spend about $150 to $200 on groceries per person monthly. Gym memberships range from $20 to $40, and basic healthcare or dental services are 60 to 70% cheaper than in the US, though quality varies. Public transport like buses or motorcycle taxis cost just $1 to $2 per ride. Private taxis run about $5 to $10, depending.
Number 1. Eating like a local. A culinary journey through Congo. If food tells the story of a people, then DR Congo's cuisine is bold, soulful, and unforgettable. It's served with fufu, a sticky dough made from cassava or cornmeal. Think of it as an edible spoon, flavorless on its own, but perfect for soaking up rich sauces. Start with poulet mwambe, the unofficial national dish. Chicken is simmered in a thick sauce of palm butter, garlic, chili, onions, and fermented palm nut paste called mwamba. Locals call it the soul dish, and for good reason. Each bite is a blend of spice, richness, and memory. And here's something fun. Congolese people don't eat with forks or knives. They eat with their hands. It's part of the experience. From makala, crispy fried dried fish eaten like chips, to le bouquet de poisson,
fish steamed in banana leaves with garlic and chili, DR Congo street food is as full of character as it is flavor. Street food? It's